Hey Chad, take a look at this piece I got from Temu. It's got a pretty crappy magazine, but it does have some stopping power, and apparently if you just This is the Winger. The Winger is a secondary weapon able to be used by the Scout. In return for a heavily decreased magazine size, you are given a small boost in per bullet damage, and are given an increase to your jump height while active. It's kind of a sleeper pick for a lot of the Scout community, since it tends to be overshadowed by the more popular picks like the Pocket Pistol or the Mad Milk. Even I, for a while, was like, nah, this thing's trash, why would I ever use it? Because I was under the assumption that because of the tiny magazine and the small jump boost, that it was a waste of a slot. So I defaulted to other Scout picks like everybody else seems to do. Then I actually sat down and used the damn thing, and then I had discovered the error of my ways. First of all, it's nice having both a damage dealer and a mobility tool in one small package. I'm personally quite fond of the stock pistol and its reskins, but I am blown away by how effective that little jump boost really is. That extra jump height can open up a metric shit ton of new flanks and traversal routes, and pairing it with the Force of Nature can make you a vertical nightmare. Fun fact, the Winger Force of Nature combo can let Scout reach the cliffside islands on Sweden, an area usually only accessible by demos or soldiers. That's just how powerful the Winger's bonus jump height is. Trust me on this one. Go queue up for your favorite map with the Winger and watch as the whole map opens up with whole new routes for you. It can level up your traversal game as a Scout tremendously. Hell, even in areas with little flanking potential, that jump boost can make general movement just a lot smoother in general. Take that little crate spot on Swiftwater for example. Like, looky here. Alright, I'm jumping onto the things, but I'm getting kind of caught on the top, and it's a little janky, and it's like slowing me down a lot. I could get punished by that. But if I bring out the Winger, suddenly I'm moving a lot smoother. I'm not getting caught on shit, and this is letting me get around easier. Now, who else wants to do a big jumpy?
Thanks for that, tough guy.
Yeah. Great, I hope you like doing no damage.
I want to do a big jumpy too. Welcome back to Thoughts from the Barflies, sponsored by the Bootleggers Lounge. What are your thoughts on the Winger?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say, Dick? The Winger's peak side grade design. Is it better than stock? Probably not. Is that okay? Yes! It's not meant to compete with stock. It just made very well-tuned guns, so confident in its stride. Gun. But you go up. I once tried to screw up the economy of strange Wingers by artificially inflating their price. It's like Red Bull. If Red Bull gave you more jump height, and it wasn't a drink, but instead it was a gun, and it wasn't called Red Bull, but called the Winger. Jump higher, not horrible if you know where to use it. Except, where do you use it? One of the best, if not the best, mobility tool for Scout. It's because Winger tastes better than pistol. Winger? I hardly know her! Ah, Winger, my beloved. Great pistol if you want some mobility while still keeping some backup damage. It is a relatively mediocre weapon. The jump is nice, but personally I prefer the PvPP.
Red Bull gives you wings.
On par with stock and the Pretty Boy because of its sheer utility and unlocked movement potential. That extra jump height can make such a difference. It trades off reliable damage for reliable utility, which is great depending upon your playstyle. Winger is make me sad. Winger is make me sad. Higher damage, no makeup for low clip, and atomizer is better for mobility because Mad Milk, Stock, and Pity Boy Posket Pistol do a lot more for Scout. Great for jumping higher and pairing with the atomizer. Sucks as a weapon with only 5 bullets in it. Great gun, really opens your options for flanks and movement. Pairs great with the backscatter. Red Dead Redemption 2 horse collision physics. Good for pistol and eco rounds. Can reliable 2-shot at close range. Good recoil and rather cheap. The kill reward makes it worth it too at 450. Cool. And of course, from the fish. Good pistol, but stock and the Pretty Boy outshine it, and also use the fish! Do you wish to leave your 2 cents in the future? Then come along and join the Bootleggers Lounge, accessible via the description of the video. And of course, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hype the video. It must do something. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program.
The Winger is unable to kill a single enemy with a single magazine. Okay, that's a lie, but not really. Let me explain. While the height boost is by far the key feature to the weapon, it is still a pistol, and it does have its own set of statistical changes. being 15% more damage and a 60% smaller magazine. Now at first, the weapon may seem like it's supposed to act as sort of a Desert Eagle-esque handgun, featuring heavy-hitting shots that are balanced out with a small magazine. At most, a winger magazine can output up to 130 damage with max damage ramp-up. This is able to kill all 4 light classes if you can make sure every single shot connects at absolute close range. Now, of course, this isn't really an easy thing to do. People love to move around, accuracy overall with pistols is very poor, and breathing distance to an enemy is a terrible place to be in unless you get the drop on them. Then there's the stock pistol. The stock pistol can do up to 264 damage per mag at close range, killing anything and everything that isn't a heavy. Even with no damage ramp up at a medium-ish range, it's still like 180 damage. The pistol is just a better overall weapon. The drop in magazine size from 12 to 5 can be grueling to deal with. Even compared to the pretty boys to the winger, it's a 9-round magazine, which still outdoes the winger by default combat-wise. The thing about the pretty boy's pocket pistol is that even though it has a smaller mag, it fires faster. Even when dealing only up to 198 damage with max ramp up, it's able to output that damage faster than the stock pistol, making it stand as an effective combat tool even without the health regen. The winger is the weapon that people think the pistol is, a weak finishing tool with little offensive capability that isn't to be relied on. The damage numbers on the winger are fucking shenanigans, but that jump height is still incredibly good and highly worth bringing the weapon into combat for. It's still a gun, you can kill people effectively enough, just make sure to remember that it is not the stock pistol and it is not the pretty boys. It's the winger, you have to use it like the winger. Now, being primarily used as a mobility tool, the winger finds itself compared mostly to the atomizer, with most folks seemingly coming to the conclusion that the atomizer is superior to the winger. Now, I'm obviously biased here due to my unreasonable hatred for the atomizer and all it represents in the scout main culture and all the people that love to prop it up with literally anything else. Oh my fucking god. But I'm gonna keep it $1,000,000. Fuck the atomizer, the winger's better. The first thing I need to bring up is deployment speed. The atomizer takes twice as long to deploy compared to the winger, meaning that you must fully commit to pulling it out to get that third jump. If you're using the atomizer and you need that bonus mobility here and now, you are going to be left dead in the dirt before you can even begin to pull off that second jump. Not only is it slower to pull out, but the atomizer is also slower in jumping speed. While the winger gives you 2 supercharged jumps that let you scale obstacles quickly, the atomizer gives you 3 regular ass jumps that are slower to use than the winger's boosted jumps. And while both weapons demand that you have them out to get the boost, one is at least a gun that you can shoot people with, and the other is a stick with bloated, unnecessary damage changes that only serve to fuck up whether or not the enemy is gonna die in either 4 hits or 5. What is with this stat lineup? I plan on doing a bigger video on how much I fucking despise the atomizer, but that's for a later date. We're talking about the winger now. I've made my point. Honestly, the winger is kinda weird. Sure, it's the stereotypical YouTuber thing to say, but I mean it. Of all of Scout's secondary pistols, the winger is one of the strangest he can equip, mainly due to the fact that no other secondary in his arsenal can really give him this kind of boost in mobility. Have you ever processed that like every other Scout secondary is just some kind of combat tool? But not the winger, it's a mobility tool with a gun tacked onto it, and it's strange, but it's kinda goated. It's a weird little gun that tends to float around in limbo when it comes to weapon discussion, but I'll be damned if this little pistol isn't a diamond in the rough. It gives great mobility, it still serves okay damage, and it can even be pimped out in fancy warpaint for added style. Ooh. So in conclusion,